My husband and me are moving out from our in-laws' place. It's been about 5 months since I've moved to the country to be with my husband and his family. Unlike my small family with just my mum and dad, my cousin, sister and my brother, he has 4 elder sisters, all of them married, some of them still living with us, and he is the youngest ones. I'm the oldest of my sibling. Right from when I arrived here I was assigned to cook for all of them, even though I did not know much cooking. There's obviously inequality in the housework. Nowadays my husband and I both working full-time, still cooking 5 days out of 7, while the other members only work for some hour in the morning or part-time. It's okay if they don't complain, but every time we are the ones that are told that we are not doing anything in the house, like cleaning. We both work full-time, don't stay at home except when it is our off day, and mostly tired or finally get to spend time together, even that they tell us we are not giving time to family. I came with fresh mindset to make everyone happy. But I'm struggling now and upset most of the time, so I just stay in my room when my husband is not there. I tried talking with his sisters and even everyone, but they only understand it from their perspective, and in the end it always me who ends up wrong. We also had a huge fight because my father-in-law raised voice at me just because I answered back to him, which I can assure I was not disrespectful at all. I was shocked. Even then my sister-in-laws tried turning my husband against me, saying lies like I disrespected him when I was only answering what he said to me in a calm voice. They said things I never said. Even I was shocked. That was the moment I felt like no one was my family in this house except my husband. My husband is on my side, but it upsets me that he has to fight with his whole family for me. Even though I tried not make the situation worse, one can only take enough. There's a lot of things that happened other than that. Things with home is affecting me mentally as well in work. I was not eating properly for weeks. My husband and I decided to move out due to this, as he is also not doing well mentally either, always putting pressure on him and not understanding his situation, which I do. It's like he does love his family, but he's had enough and is ready to move out far from them. We have let them know, and now they are giving us silent treatment. I just know that there will be another huge fight against it. I just don't have the energy, neither do my husband. We just want to be away from this place which has turned toxic for us, but they are against it. Are we overreacting? Also, my Mill works part-time and my Phil is retired army and he does have his pension. They don't really need us financially, but they do want to depend on us, even though they know we are newly married in new country, earn minimum and still struggling. Comment. Sounds like they're upset because they're losing their Cinderella. I wish you success in finding a new place soon so that you can escape from the lazy sisters and the stress that living with the in-laws brings. See, you two are the youngest in the house. You are not allowed to have an opinion, and your jobs are to do as they say and take the treatment they dish out. You are to pay bills and contribute financially, but you have no say in what happens, and your views on anything are not valued and mean nothing. It is a fascist regime and your place is at the very bottom. Getting out is the only thing you can do. Sounds like they have strong opinions on how a household is supposed to work. Disrespectful of the father? He's the head of the house, yeah. And the sisters back him up? Does your hubby feel that a man is the head of a household, women cook and clean, men do finances, etc.? Definitely clear that up now. You're out, in counseling if need be, to clear the air and refund how your partnership works. Next story 2. Gil freaked out at me and my BF because she doesn't think I'd be a good wife. For some background, me and my BF have just moved into his grandparents' house 6 days ago because they offered us no rent and were generally very supportive of the idea, as they were the ones who recommended we do this in the first place. We were previously living on our own and renting our own apartment, but severely struggling due to working full-time to pay the bills and going to college. To start off, we moved in with his grandparents 6 days ago and everything has been perfect. And I mean perfect. We have started saving money due to no longer having to pay rent. We applied to multiple jobs and we have both graduated recently prior to moving. His grandparents have been exceptionally sweet and supportive of us. They offer us food almost every day as his grandma cooks an astounding amount. They offer us flowers from their garden and generally offer to give us a lot. That being said, we don't ask for any of it. We are used to living on our own and doing our own thing, so this has been very nice and we have accepted most of their offers, but we don't need these things. Earlier today, we went strawberry picking. This is a big part of the story, just hold on, and I cut up all the strawberries, after giving his grandparents some, and froze them for us to make smoothies out of. I put the overripe strawberries and the tops of the ones I cut off into their compost bin they use for their own gardens, as his grandpa recommended I do. About an hour later, his grandma yells down the stairs for my boyfriend to come up and talk to her. He goes up, and about 5 minutes after I follow. I walk upstairs to hear her yelling at him about how I cut the strawberries wrong, and how I am extremely wasteful. She then goes on about how I will make a terrible wife. I'm not joking, because I don't cook 3 times a day for him, I don't make the bed in the morning. We live downstairs, so she had to have come downstairs when we weren't home to check the room, and I do nothing all day. After she saw that I was upstairs, she proceeded to repeat all of that to my face and add on that I should be doing all of this for him as I am the woman in the relationship. The one thing that stuck with me, because she kept on repeating it, was that I do nothing all day, nothing. Which is wrong. I do the cleaning, laundry, groceries, and we usually take turns cooking, although admittedly my boyfriend used to do most of the cooking due to me working long hours. We haven't cooked much since we moved down because she offers us food every single day for almost every meal. So maybe that one I understand? Although we have never asked her for anything. I don't know, her temper came out of nowhere and honestly scared me a bit. One thing is for sure, she was very mad at me and only me. I've never seen her react this way to anything, as she is usually very well-mannered and well-tempered. What do you think is going on here? Dementia. Do I have a right to be angry she treated me this way? Comment. I wonder about the real reason they asked you guys to move in. She sounds judgmental and controlling. If she's going down to check on your room, what's next? Her snooping through your room when you aren't home? You cut the strawberries wrong? Again, this is a control issue. My mom can be like this, and I can tell you from experience, it's only going to get worse with time. She thinks she has to train you to make you a good wife, or she's going to try to create a wedge and get you guys to break up. I'd start looking for a place to rent. She's going to drive you insane if you stay living with her. So my take would be, she grew up at different times, her view on things are outdated. But I would also ask if she thinks it's a hassle to make food for you. And point out that you didn't ask her to do this, so you thought she wanted to. Maybe it's best if you start making food for yourself? This is the diplomat in me though, if you want to keep living with them. But if she starts getting more rude, then maybe move out if it gets really bad. I wouldn't take it personal, she's just stuck in her ways. I might have said something along the lines of that's not how the world is anymore. What did her grandson say? I don't think it's dementia. I think the honeymoon is over. It could be that she likes to do things to help and then complain later. It could also be that she doesn't think anyone is good enough for him and that he needs to be waited on hand and foot. She could or can start being nosy, going into your room, etc. Yes, times were different, but I'm sorry, that's not an excuse. She still has been around now to see the times the same as we know how the times used to be. We learn. She has actually seen the times change. I would have a talk with her and explain that what you are doing, that you're going to be working, etc., and that you share responsibilities and that the only person that should matter to is your partner. Stop taking anything ever offered. I would ask and offer to help them since it is their house. What your partner said to her though is a big deciding factor also, because I would hope he stuck up for you and told her that he can make a bed himself. I guess if you want to stay or ever have a decent relationship, I would try once to talk to her. Don't allow her to walk all over you though. Good luck.